Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. How are you all, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? Yes, I saw the quick orb. I've been shuffling cards, preparing decks before I start. Cuts down on the amount of shuffling I have to do if I know the deck's ready to go. So clearly orbs are around me when I pull tarot. As we know in previous videos, you'll see, for all the new subscribers, you will see them flying around the room at various times. Thank you. I always start with a thank you for all your comments, particularly on the sun, rising and moon signs readings that I did for the month of September. Yes, I hope to do October, but let's see how we go. I'm just back from a 3-day trip inland, New South Wales, to gold mining towns that were really booming in the 1800s, and of course now are quieter, a lot quieter. Not quite ghost towns, but very much diminished. But the communities that are left in these towns are absolutely wonderful. So we visited those towns, and then we and actually did some gold panning, and then we went to stay at the Hydro Majestic, which was quite an interesting stay. The Hydro Majestic is, I guess, Australia's answer to the Overlooker in Stephen King's Shining. It does have its resident ghosts, and so I did a little bit of paranormal research while I was there. I'll bring you all those videos in the weeks to come. The filming's all been done, the rough filming, and I need to get into the editing suite and edit them, which I will do in the coming weeks. All right, so where do we want to start? Well, of course, Pluto moved back into Capricorn. I know some people were a little bit worried that it was retrograding back into Capricorn, that we would see some of the conditions that we've seen particularly around 2008 and beyond, that kind of corruption that we've seen in business, in banking, in institutions like governments, in big business, and of course the rise of the billionaire class, multi-billionaire class, who are, at the same time gaining more and more power. Well, with Pluto in Aquarius briefly this year, and then moving more fully in 2025, well, actually November the 19th. That's where it will stay in Aquarius for 48 years. So, till 2048. So, we kind of got worried. We're thinking, oh, well, a lot of corruption was outed just in this year, if you think about it. I couldn't keep up with it. It was so prolific, and that's what Pluto in Aquarius does. It's one of the things Pluto in Aquarius does. So the retrograde back into Capricorn, what are we going to see? People getting away with things? Well, if we look to the US and we see sentencing delayed until November the 26th for the former president, Donald Trump, we think, well, hang on, he was found guilty by a jury of his peers. Why wouldn't he be sentenced? Who else gets let off? It's complex. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But I actually have more of a positive take on Pluto retrograding back into Capricorn. It happened on September 1, September 2, depending on where you are in the world. And it will move out of Capricorn and back into Aquarius on November the 19th, interestingly, after the US election. And that's where it'll stay until 2048. So what do I think about Pluto moving back in, retrograding back into Capricorn very briefly? I was one of the ones that were worried, and I stopped to think about it, and I thought, hang on a minute. Retrogrades are about having the chance to go back over old ground and fix things once and for all. But you do it with a new perspective. You do it as a product of all the lessons learned, of all the evolution that Pluto in Capricorn brought, particularly around finance, banking, and as I said, the rise of the rise of the billionaire class. I have a fairly strong gut feeling, you're going to see even more corruption coming out, if that is even possible, over the next few months. But for us personally, how do we deal with Pluto retrograding into Capricorn? Well, Uranus is also retrograde as well. So it does give us an opportunity to really tackle those problems that we know we need to tackle. But this time, with the benefit of hindsight and lessons learned, we've got a good chance of fixing them. So I'm kind of a little bit more positive about Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn. It's not going to, as I said, it coincides with the US election, so it's going to be tumultuous. But this is the time to fix things. Okay, all right, so where are we going to go now? Most of you want to know about the debate. How will Harris go? How will Trump go? Who's going to win? The big news around the extremist right-wing podcasters and the content creating firm in I think it's Tennessee where they're located. They have now been indicted for, the right-wing podcasters haven't been, but the content creation agency has. And that is for taking Russian money and then spewing out the talking points. The extreme right-wing podcasters say they were unaware, and they haven't been charged yet. I understand they are cooperating with the DOJ, Department of Justice, and so there could be charges further down the line. But all of this illustrates Russia's desperation to try and interfere yet again in the US election. And on that note, the FBI intelligence file on the 2016 interference and the Trump campaign's interactions with Russia is missing still. Now, we know that the classified documents case, the Judge Cannon just dropped it, finished it up, and it's now on appeal. And for those that haven't looked at that reading, the appeal court favours the DOJ, and I think, in a way, throws the book at Judge Cannon. Trump's in New York at the moment appealing the E. Jean Carroll case. And I just want to point out too, it's been sort of a week of revelations when you listen really closely. Trump used a phrase in a press conference yesterday when he was denigrating the women that have alleged sexual assault and worse with him in E. Jean Carroll's case, sexual assault, rape. He said Carroll that he wouldn't, he was talking about that he wouldn't have favoured her, he wouldn't have and he used the phrase, let's just say she wouldn't be the chosen one. Now, straight away, I got serial sexual assault predator vibes, the chosen one. So he picks out the one that he wants and then goes after them. I honestly, the chosen one, that is something you would hear a serial killer say in an interview. Anyway. Okay, so we'll see if he'll win his appeal. Doesn't look good for him. Georgia Blue. I want to say the polls in the US are very close still. Apathy is something no one should be entertaining. I've predicted that there will be the Democratic Party will be in power in the White House in 2025. Harris will win, but the polls are very, very close, and I'm fallible. Okay, mine is just a prediction. Please stay on your guard. Vote. Okay, well, Georgia turned blue. Trump's sentencing on November the 18th was postponed, and I want to say I'm sorry, people, but I never saw him going to jail at that time on November the 18th. The cards, if you know, gave me a lot of consternation, and I said, I just can't see a prison sentence. Well, the last reading I did, it was yes, no, and because my question was November the 18th, and you can see what the cards were saying. I'm interpreting, no, he won't be sentenced to prison. No, he won't be on November the 18th. Will he on November the 26th? That's another question altogether. But thank you, Spirit, for being so patient with me as I wade my way through discerning these very complex questions that I'm asking. The DC case is ramping up. Now, Australia's had another earthquake. I think it was a 4-point something, again in the Hunter region of New South Wales. This is like about the 4th or 5th one in a very short time. I want to see if we're, unfortunately, I hope not, warming up to quite a large quake here in New South Wales. All right, let's go. Well, we've got Mars in Cancer now as well. So there's a volatility. Remember that we're not divorced from the Earth. We are part of the Earth. We are part of the Earth's inhabitants, animals, human beings, flora, fauna, and we're not divorced from what the Earth is doing. And Mars in Cancer is very, very volatile. So, all right, let's get started. The debate. You want to know about the debate. It's good to catch up. I posted star signs, and I didn't produce a video on Thursday other than the star signs. And it feels good to catch up with you. Okay. And there are predictions interspersed in this introduction. All right, let's go. The debate. Okay, what can we see about that debate? So we get message in a bottle. All right, what can you tell me about the debate? What can you tell me about the debate? I guess I'm going to ask, will Harris win? I wish they would do drug tests before the debates, because I'm getting somebody's high on something. When I say high, medicated, there's some kind of something there. Is it an upper? We know that there are fairly serious allegations of Trump abusing drugs over the decades. I see the lid off a whiskey bottle now. He's not a drinker, is he? So that's a metaphor for something else. All right. Trump and Harris, who are we going to? Okay, the curtain will be pulled open, which is a good thing. So I'm going to get to see Trump, and I think his decline. I think he will perform very aggressively on the night, but we're not stupid. We can see through. We can see through the reasons why this might be happening. All right, Trump and Harris. Will Harris win? Will Harris win? Show me, will Harris win? She has an opening, okay? So I think it's going to be a tough night, but she has an opening to winning. I think she actually will win. But there's a pass through. There's mountains and there's a pass through. And she achieves it. So not an easy night for either of them. You'll see, I think Trump, I don't know, look at his demeanour, because I'm seeing that open bottle now. He's not a drinker, so as I said, it's a metaphor for something else. All right, let's see. How does Harris perform in the debate? Okay, something wants to jump out, and we have 4 of cups. 3 cups lost, 1 cup remaining. So I think Trump could come off also as quite belligerent and lying. So it's going to really, again, it's different modus operandi to what he did with Biden. It's a lie and a belligerence. It's almost like he's going to generate self-righteous anger. So I think again that he won't be pulled up on this. May be disappointing for Harris, but she'd be well aware of that. All right, how's Harris going to go in the debate? How is VP Harris going to go in the debate? So we get the Knight of Pentacles. She's going to give a consistent performance, okay, and that's pretty obvious. We get the Four of Swords in the past. So we have ill health. That's not applying to Harris, is it? She's not ill. She hasn't stepped back. That Four of Swords is for a reason. And the reason is I keep talking to you about Trump's health. It is precarious at this time. So we get moving out of troubled waters. That's good. The Six of Swords is a good card for her to get. And we get wisdom and maturity in the King of Cups. So also this, again, focuses on Biden. And she will get attacked for a lot of those talking points that they're regurgitating about the economy under Biden. It's going to all be fair game. So, but on the other hand, there's wisdom here as well. She gets an opportunity to talk about the gains and the recovery. She will have to defend herself, but she's standing her ground. She's a prosecutor. She'll do that well. It's a volatile, I guess, environment at the moment where there has to be really smart defence. Hopes and fears, walking away from what no longer serves us. She moves to the debate toward the future. And there will be a good contrast there. And we get the Eight of Pentacles. She's there for a reason. She's Biden's endorsed candidate for a reason. She's the Democratic Party's candidate for a reason. The Eight of Pentacles. The Apprentice card, yes, but a very, 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 very skilled performance from her, and we're not going back. It's a good thing. Okay, so we get the Ten of Swords, clarifying the ending of one stage to another, and we get the Eight of Pentacles, the brokering of that new start while we end something out. And this ties in with my Pluto in Aquarius and Pluto retrograde Capricorn comments. We get the Devil, the end of the Devil, the end of the Devil, and we get the new starts via a very skilled navigation. Interesting, these cards come up. The Devil's been coming up a lot in the last few weeks, as have the Ten of Swords. And so this toxicity, this Capricorn, it's associated with Capricorn, and the ending of this. Now, Capricorn, please don't think is a devilish sign. It's not. But Capricorn does stand. It is associated with finance, money. Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, bombshells. There's going to be a bit of a surprise here. She's going to say something, the Knight of Swords. She's going to say something. There's going to be a revelation here. What was coming after the Ten of Swords? The Supreme Court. Okay. Expect her to talk about some of the things that Trump has done and been charged with, and about the immunity decision. She's very, very, very well prepared. Very well prepared. Okay, so who's the winner? It's Harris. All right, so let's see. 1 or 2, 3 cards. Will Trump? I should be able to. That should do. Will Trump win his appeal with E. Jean Carroll? I'm using the Tarot Art Nouveau and the Rider-Waite if I need it. Will Trump win his appeal? There's a firing squad for someone. Don't think that's E. Jean Carroll. Will Trump win? Probably Trump's lawyers, a firing squad for Trump's lawyers. Will Trump win his appeal with E. Jean Carroll? Will Trump win his appeal with in the E. Jean Carroll case? Will Trump win his appeal in the E. Jean Carroll case? Really, the Four of Swords. So we get the King of Swords. That's the judge. And we get the weary the weary person. But also it looks like the court's going to be fairly strong in this decision. They need to put some guardrails around him. We get the ace of rods, and the temperance angel is in the past. So moderation is in the past. It could be that the court talks about his continual defamation of her. We get the Knight of Pentacles, consistency. We get new starts. We get the money, the monetary penalty, and then we get the Five of Cups. So I don't know if the court's even ruled now, but I think that I don't know. It's like it's already the decision's already sort of been made, because he keeps defaming her, because he expresses no remorse, because of what he's doing, hopes and fears. No, there's the devil. There's the devil again, and it's a no. The Nine of Pentacles, the money goes to E. Jean Carroll, and we get strength. It's a big win for E. Jean Carroll. We get the Tower and the devil, the Tower and the devil. It's a no. She wins. She perseveres. This is it. He loses. He loses the appeal. It's almost like is the judgment out now? Because I feel like it's like already kind of known. All right, let's see Georgia blue. Will Georgia turn blue? Show me, will the Democratic Party get Georgia's electoral votes? Will the Democratic Party in the November election win Georgia's electoral college votes? Will the Democratic Party win Georgia's electoral votes? Will the Democratic Party win? It's an uphill staircase, but it's a good climb. It's a steep climb. Will the Democratic Party win Georgia's electoral college votes in November 2020? I think they might. I'm getting like somebody stamping something, and I looked at the words on the stamp, and it was like blue, like Democratic Party. Anyway, the Ace of Cups is there as the signifier card, and we get lots and lots of headlines. So you might see polls start to turn around. I know the race is very close in Georgia. Might see polls start to turn around here. The Strength card. These are really positive cards. I also want to say, when I read on Texas, it was a lot of voter suppression, a lot of shenanigans in Texas. There's a chance, but I haven't called Texas, and I've said Florida's in play. I think those polls are now supporting that. North Carolina, it's in play, but there are a lot of shenanigans going on there, a lot of skullduggery, I said. There she is, Kamala Harris. Now we get, it's very close. It's like, there's also manipulation here because the devil went down to Georgia. The devil is in Georgia at this time. Remember, goodness gracious, these cards are interesting. And there's death. Okay, the death card, the end of the devil. That's interesting. I know that the Democratic Party is taking on the election board. I know even the governor, who's a Republican, is taking on the election board nonsense. Okay, so it's a hard battle. That's in the hopes and fears. And then we get the King of Swords. It is going to go to the courts, obviously. But one ship comes in, and then we get Kamala Harris. These are beautiful cards. So here, these are my two cards when I see her. Strictly speaking, this is her, but she's also got a lot of fire. Well, not a lot. She's got fire in her chart. Is it her moon in Sag? Anyway, when I see a spread like this, I'm very encouraged to say that the devil is being dealt with through the death card, and all of those outcome cards would suggest that the Democratic Party gets Georgia's electoral college votes after the court cases. That's very positive. They're going to need them. And there we have it. I don't know what the Democratic Party is doing in Georgia, but they're doing some good work. All right. Let's go to... I just want to go to the earthquake now. I'll just change the decks. That was the Art Nouveau Tarot. And I just want to go to the earthquake. The earthquakes in New South Wales. And this is sort of a metaphor for the climate change events we're seeing at this time. Okay, it's very kind of, I don't know, erratic. I'm getting the Earth's energy is very erratic. All right, let's see the earthquakes in the Hunter region. That's a big mining region, interestingly enough. There was a major earthquake, I think, I'm not going to put a decade on it, but the 1980s in Newcastle in that region, major. So there's a major fault line that runs there. Okay, let's see. Will there be a major earthquake in any region of Australia? Will Australia experience a major earthquake? Will Australia experience a major earthquake? Will Australia experience a major earthquake? Interesting. So we get the Page of Wands, so far minor, and then we get the Ace of Cups. So I'm not convinced major yet. We get the Ten of Wands at the base of the foundation of this reading. There's something about the energy of the old giving way to the new here. We get the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, my card for Trump, but this reading isn't about Trump. What it represents is money and greed. I don't know what fracking is being done around that area, but it's heavy mining. The Four of Wands in the sky, the family and home is in the sky here. And we get an inevitability, the Judgment card. There's something kind of like, I just want to kick it up a bit to a higher level. There's something about our greed and what we're doing to the earth that is making things tenuous. It's like letting the bull out of its enclosure. It's to do with energy here. And there's an erratic. We've got the signs and signals right now. The Queen of Wands in the present motivation. It's the dollars. Like this is kind of turned into an earth energy reading. But it's like greed is setting off. Disturbances have reached a point of where you will see consequences. We know that's called climate change. We get healing, hopes and fears, helping and healing. And the outcome card, I'm afraid, is yes. Australia will experience a major earthquake, and we just get this quickness coming here. And like very, very strong cards in the outcome. And it will, I don't want to alarm anyone, but it looks like Australia will. And we get, again, it's a sort of like a sign. It's like the earth itself is sending a sign. And we get, again, something coming to fruition in time. And then we get the quickness of it all. So, I think that these smaller quakes, I don't know if it'll be in the Hunter region. I asked a general question, will Australia experience a major earthquake in relation to these smaller earthquakes that are going on now? Are we warming up to something quite large? And I'm afraid the cards are saying we are. Let's see if it will be anytime soon, and will it be hard to put a time limit on, or a time limit on tarot. Will this major earthquake in Australia be experienced before Christmas? Will this major earthquake in Australia be experienced before Christmas? Will this major earthquake in Australia be experienced before Christmas? Okay, so we have the Lovers card. We have heartbreak. We have restriction. So there's fear even in asking this question. That the Page of Wands is in the past. The Page of Pentacles is in the sky. Crowning the reading, the Empress card, Mother Earth, season of time. It's a growing season. Season of time. Spirit's definitely given me that card for a reason. It's within the next 12 months. Standing one's ground. Again, the energy here. Spirit, the Hierophant, the hopes and fears, and then we get the Fool card. Okay, this phase, yes, it's under a year. This phase is asking us, again, drawing our attention to, it's like we get a natural disaster and we go, okay, we've got to do something about climate change, and then we don't. And ways and means are found to go around that by business, and we get the lies and deceit, but it looks like there's a huge lesson coming. Okay, so I'm just going to say it's in under 12 months. Anyway, that's the prediction out there. All right, one last question around Trump's DC case, which is back on the boil. Yeah, I was going to use the kipper. I'll use that next time. The DC case, it looks like there's going to be an evidentiary type of pre-trial. Judge Chutkan is just going full ball ahead. The Supreme Court told her to hold a trial. Some kind of, will sort out the immunity, sort out what's immune and what's not. That's the kind of hearing she'll be running. But Jack Smith was one step ahead, took out all the immunity issues from the indictment and presented a superseding indictment, which makes Judge Chutkan's case really, it simplifies it, it's complex, but it makes it easier for her to hold this hearing. So we're going to get to hear the evidence. So will we hear evidence we don't currently know? Will the DC case before the election present us with evidence we don't necessarily know? Will the DC case for Trump, even his co-conspirators might get outed, will it present us with evidence we don't necessarily know yet? Getting the infinity sign. The Star card and is crossed by the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. As we hear more about this, the January 6th who are languishing in jail are feeling more and more like they've been duped. There's the King of Pentacles at the foundation of the reading. We're going to hear more about him. The prosecutor has set this up. That's in the past. The Ten of Pentacles. It's like money. So we're going to hear, again, I've always said there's something to do with finances here, money. We're going to hear something about that. The Page of Pentacles, illusion and delusion. It's not just a regurgitation. Okay, the January 6th, the whole thing. Again, the people were duped into thinking the election was stolen, and Trump has admitted it wasn't. hopes and fears. There's that Four of Swords again, the health card. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. We're going to hear more information than we currently have. Somebody's very anxious about that. There we go, the Tower and my card for Russia. You could even see, with the DOJ coming out about the right-wing podcasters who were sprouting Russian talking points, you could even see more Russian money via content creators. Who's on Russia's payroll? I don't know. There's something around this hearing in DC that spells it's the Tower moment again. So the cards that keep coming up, the Tower, the Devil. So Harris Walls, very, 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 very strong ticket just to finish this up. But let's not be complacent. And yes, I do know that waltz is waltz, but I have a lisp. I know it's WALS, and I know it's not waltz, as in dancing, but I have a lisp. I've had a lisp since I was little. So waltz sounds like waltz. See? So I do know the difference. I'm an Australian. My accent will never sound like an American, nor do I want to sound like an American. I'm very proud of my country and my heritage. So I do know the difference between WALS and WALTZ. All right. Just an aside, because I have had an email saying it's waltz, not waltz. I know. All right. I'll see you again soon. Bye.